Okay, y'all, we back with another video. This time I'm doing a two ponytail quick weave on my daughter. So what you would need for this video is in front of you. You got to get that pack of hair and you got to get those wig caps. And why they got this lady up here like this? Before we officially get started, you know my girl had to get her TikTok in because, we got to make that content. And baby girl, she was feeling herself because the transformation was about to be in full effect. Now, before I got started, I had her part her hair out first. I wanted her to part her hair out first just to make sure that she approved of the positioning. I am not a professional hairstylist. I literally only do my daughter's hair to save money and to save some time. When I knew I was having a daughter in high school, I was 17 years old when I had her. I knew I had to brush up my beauty skills because I was not about to be spending a bunch of money in beauty salons. Baby, no, not me. I'm just taking the time to perfect her part in the back because that's the part she couldn't see. And then I'm going to go around the entire head and make sure that everything is perfected and as smooth as I can get it. We gonna tuck that hair out the way because, like I said, I'm not a professional. So now I'm just going to braid the leave out section of her hair. So that way I can make sure it doesn't get glue on it. It's very visible underneath the cap, and later on we're going to cut the cap and expose that, but y'all got to keep watching to get to that part. Now I'm going to just keep braiding that same braid all the way over to the other side of her head. Now I'm just doing corn braids straight down. I'm doing the corn braids straight down and the entire back of her head. I'm also taking the ends of the braids and tucking them up into the next braid. That way she don't have no big ball in the back of her head because nobody want no lump when they trying to have some straight back bust down. You feel me? Now, when I got to the front of her head, I did her braid straight back, so that way everything lays flat. Nobody want no bump on the front of their head. All right, let's put Miss Karen little wave cap on. She look happy, so I guess we gonna be happy with it. So I'm just stretching it over her head. Yes, I was using her assistance with a lot of this. You can see the braids very clearly. Next, we're going to put on some bond protectant. All this is from your local beauty supply store, or you could get it from Amazon. So this is bond protectant, so that way when I put the 30-second weave glue on, it doesn't seep through the cap and adheres to her hair, because that would be a headache trying to get out. Now we're just going to set the protectant with a blow dryer. So I have her assisting me with that because I ain't got time. Everything is all dry. It's not sticky. I'm feeling all around it. Kind of feel like a rubber ball or something. You know, a cat ain't capping unless you cut them ears out. Plus, I wanted to give her ears some freedom. She was like, hold up, cut my ears out. So I tried to do this carefully so I didn't snag her earrings, even though they are healed. I know the pain of getting your earrings snagged by the hairstylist because I know the Dominican people at the doobie shop be tearing me up. But anyway, we're gonna start laying the tracks. I lay them kind of in a U shape so that way the hair falls towards her face. Nobody wanna be looking all bald when they got some extensions in. So if you lay the hair going in a U, it will fall towards the face. It will give a fuller look. And as the hair loosens up and the new growth grows underneath it, the hair won't pull back. We putting the glue on. I kind of make a flower in a sense out of the tracks, especially as they get longer, and I spread the glue around. Yes, girl, you gonna get glue all over you. I even got glue on my brand new shirt that I literally took out the pack this morning and put on. But hey, I did save about $200 by doing the hairstyle myself. Y'all, I'm gonna fast forward this part because it's just a bunch of repetitive me putting glue and laying the tracks, measuring the tracks, cutting, adding the glue, laying the tracks. As soon as this glue hits this bond protectant, it pretty much dries right away. So I'm gonna just fast forward until we get to the next step. Oh yeah, and sis kept leaning up, trying to be comfortable on her phone and stuff. I swear she don't treat her real hairstylist like this, but because I'm her mom, you know, I gotta break my back just a little bit. Now we at the top of the head, so I'm gonna just close that little gap. The tracks get shorter, they do not go all the way across. Now that that gap is closed, I am going to take my blow dryer and just seal it a little bit, make sure it's dry before I start tugging and pulling on stuff. And then I'm going to use my lace bond. No, I don't wear wigs, but she be having everything to do her little slick back. So yeah, we sprayed that just to make sure it was a better adhesion. Hit it with the blow dryer just one more time. I'm always pulling out that blow dryer, I'm telling you. And you make sure you do the same, girl. Don't be lazy. Take those extra steps to make sure your hair come out good, flawless, and that it lasts long. So I took my eyebrow razor and I carefully sliced where I wanted to cut the cap. Now, where the tracks lay and where you put your bond protectant at is kind of like a map. So you're just going to follow along the bond protected layout to lay your tracks and to cut the stocking cap off. So we just going to carefully do that. And I'm showing y'all this part in real time because I don't want y'all to rush this part and make a mistake and slice your hair, because that eyebrow razor is sharp, even though I've used it probably 2 times, but it's sharp and it's also perfect for this part. Initially, I tried to use scissors, but I was snagging her hair and I just knew I was going to end up cutting something. And we've been working on her hair to actually grow it out healthily. So, yeah, underneath the cap was still wet. So we just let it dry. That was the little bond protectant. So I let that dry before I finished cutting. Once it was dry, I finished cutting, getting all that extra cap from around the rim, around the back, around her edges, and from around the top of it. Now let's take out that braid. Once I take out this braid, we are going to put some wax stick on it. Period. She is bomb. Been using her for years. She also has really good edge control. Been using her even before she was in stores. So we put the wax stick. I use the edge brush to brush it. Use flat irons to press that hair out really good so that it can blend. Do not bevel the hair, just kind of pull it straight down, making sure you get from root to ends. So that way it's nice, lustrous, shiny, and it blends with that pack hair, girl. That's why we have to get yucky, because our hair is a little bit yucky, you know. So now we about to go through the top of the hair. This is the part that's going to be the ponytail. Be very careful with not blending it in with the leave out that we just unbraided. Anybody who have any tips to get rid of this type of dandruff, please let me know. I know I need to be taking her to the doctor somewhere, but yeah. So we're gonna keep flat ironing both sides. I'm making sure that middle part is set. Now she does have moving scalp, so we was, you know, playing with it a little bit just to make sure that middle part was middling, you feel me? We gonna make sure the sides of the ponytails is perfectly parted. A tip is to put some edge control or some beeswax on the part. It helps clean up the part. That's for hair braiding, ponytails, whatever you need to do. Make sure you put some type of pomade there so that way you could part cleanly. Do not use a wet gel, because wet gel is going to curl your hair up and then you're going to be mad. And you're going to have to wash your hair all over again to get a clean look. But I had her do her little slick backs, because one thing about sis, she could slick some hair. And we were using a little bit of spritz, a little bit of beeswax, as well as a little bit of the lace bow hole, and we were using a blow dryer to kind of freeze it in place. So here's me putting the ponytails. I used large size black rubber bands. I did double up the rubber bands. That way I have a really good grip on the hair and it doesn't start slipping or loosen. But keep in mind, do not do this part OD tight because when you start wrapping the tracks, it's going to pull the hair tighter. Now, if you don't know, you about to find out. You better get you some black paper. That thing is stretchy and it helps lay down the hair and it's gonna help protect the hair that we laid while I'm wrapping a ponytail. Now, we about to OD with this paper, but I'm telling you, it's really gonna do wonders for keeping the loose hair out of the way and helping setting the lay and the edges of the ponytails that we did. I'm even going to take one and wrap it around the back because, like I said, I am not a professional. And the more hair I could get out of my way, the better. Oh, first we got to braid the other side. So, yeah, go ahead and braid the other side, girl. Now that the other side is braided, we're going to take one more piece of black paper and wrap it around the back of her head, but leave the little two antennas sticking out because that's what we're going to wrap the loose hair around. And tie it underneath the chin. Then you're going to take more black paper and you're going to wrap that black paper around each braid. You're going to pull it tightly. It is stretchy. So pull it tight so that way once you put the tracks on the black paper, it's not going to slip off. And then when we get to the end of wrapping the black paper, you're just going to take some 30-second hair glue and you're going to put it on a braid and you're going to twist it together and it's going to stay, girl. Just keep watching. I got you. Now here's the exciting part. Like, I always get nervous because I got some epic fails when it comes to this part. It's times I've been rapping and when I went to go to tangle the hair, it slipped the whole thing off. Now it's wet glue everywhere. It's all in the hair. But I've definitely gotten good at this. I've just been taking my time. Each time I add some glue, I kind of take the blow dryer or some spritz to help set the glue. And I did not go to detangle this ponytail until I was completely sure that it was set. So I did that in the end. So we just gonna keep wrapping, keep wrapping. I'm fast forwarding it because it's pretty much repetitive. But you know, you take your time with doing this, even if you're doing it on yourself or someone else. But it's definitely not as hard as it looks. This is a very easy way to do it. You ain't gotta worry about blending the real hair or the knot showing. Cause I remember back in the day, in the early 2000s, girl, our ponytails always used to have our buns shown. It used to be a struggle. But whoever thought of this, kudos to you, baby, because it definitely comes in handy and it definitely helps me save a lot of money on keeping my daughter looking fly, you know? Now, when you get to the top of the braid, you want to make sure that you have extra track left because you want to wrap around the base of the braid a few times. That way, you know, it just sits right and the rubber band doesn't end up sticking out. And once you get to the end, you're going to add some glue, you're going to spritz it, you're going to set it with the blow dryer because you want that to stay in place. And we just going to blow dry it until it's dry because I refuse to have to wrap this ponytail again. So yeah, get that in there. Make sure it stay. Make sure it's good. Okay, girl? Because we ain't gonna have no tracks flying out this summer. Here is when we are going to take a section of the hair. Don't gotta be too much. You're gonna make a flat band. You're gonna put some beeswax. You're gonna put a little bit of spray on it, and you're gonna kind of brush it flat so that it's straight. There's no hair twisted up and kinked in it, and you're gonna start wrapping around. Girl, I was wrapping the death out of that. Her hair is going back and forth, but I just wanted to make sure it really stayed and everything was secure, and that she was happy with the final outcome. Because one thing sis gonna do is go in the mirror and cry. If she don't like her hair, she'll even take it out, and then I'll be mad. So I was making sure this came out eaten down. And plus, I got to put my name on it, and I got to post it because I'm a nail tech. But one thing I'm going to do is get my baby girl hair right. Now that you done both sides, go back to the first ponytail and start brushing it out. Sis be looking so mean when I be doing her hair. But anyway, we going to brush it out. Make sure it's nice and fluffy. Make sure there's no hair stuck and glued. By then, everything should be dry and set, so you don't have to worry about pulling the ponytail off. Flat iron that, leave out some more to get it to blend in with that loose hair. And at the same time, she laying her edges, because one thing, I don't know how to lay no edges. I barely got any. That's why I'm looking a mess in the background right now. Here is the final product. Yes, I ate down, we ate down, because we do this. And I plan on showing y'all every time I do her hair. Even though I be stressed out, I'm gonna share it with y'all, and hopefully y'all could do it too.
If you don't back the fuck up off me before I do you in and still get in this bitch and get litty.